to Whisk. I'm Gina Catelli. On this episode of Whisk, we're going to make my favorite quick express 45-minute cinnamon roll recipe. It's great for a busy weekend morning, any type of shower party, or a brunch. As always, I've pre-measured all of my ingredients, so let's go ahead and get started. So I'm going to go ahead and take my flour, and to that I'm going to combine it with my sugar, my salt, and my yeast. And I'm going to give that a quick stir until it's evenly dispersed. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to pop it in our mixing bowl, and as you can see, I've got our dough hook attachment on here. Alright, so I'm going to set that aside. And while I was preparing my flour mixture, on the stove I had my 2 tablespoons of unsalted butter, my milk, and my water slowly melting. Once the butter is completely melted and the mixture's reached about 112 to 115 degrees, we're going to take it off the stove and we're going to add it to our dry mixture. And we're there. Now we're going to add our buttermilk and water mixture that's been warmed on the stove to our dry ingredients. And we're going to go ahead and mix those up. We're going to add our 1 egg to our dough. Now that our dough has come together, I'm going to turn it out onto a floured surface and knead it for about 5 to 10 minutes and then let it rest for 5 minutes. Now that our dough has rested for about 5 to 10 minutes, we're going to go ahead and we're going to roll it out on a floured surface with a floured rolling pin into a 9 by 13 rectangle. That looks pretty good. Now that our dough is rolled out, we're going to go ahead and we're going to mix up our filling. So I have my brown sugar and my cinnamon here in the same bowl, and I'm just going to give them a quick toss till they're all combined. Okay. Now we're going to take our unsalted room temperature butter, and with clean hands, we're going to go ahead and we're going to just smear it all over the dough. This is the fun, messy part. The butter reaches all the corners of the dough. We want to make sure that the entire sheet of dough is completely covered. Perfect. Now we're going to dust our dough with our cinnamon brown sugar mixture. And again, we want to make sure that all corners of the dough are covered with our cinnamon and our sugar. So I'm going to go ahead and and just kind of evenly brush it out here. All right, now it's time to roll. So when you're rolling out cinnamon rolls, what you want to do is you want to kind of start here at the base and tightly roll and then give it kind of like a nice little like a tuck and pull it back towards you just a little bit because you want to have a really nice spiral inside the cinnamon roll. And now that we've reached the end, I'm going to go ahead and kind of pull this over so it creates a seal because we don't want to lose any of that delicious butter, brown sugar, or cinnamon mixture. Now we're going to cut our cinnamon rolls. So I'm going to go ahead and use a baker's blade. You can use any type of really good sharp kitchen knife. It'll be just fine. So the best thing to do is you're going to start in the middle and we're going to go ahead and we're going to cut it in half. And then we're going to continue to cut each half in half. Perfect. I have a greased 9x13 pan here, so I'm going to go ahead and lay our cinnamon rolls in it, and then we're going to give them time to rise. And I'm going to give just a little bit of space between each cinnamon roll because they will double in size before they bake. They already look delicious. We've got a nice tight spiral. You can see all that cinnamon and sugar. Perfect. I have my oven preheated at 200 degrees, and we're going to use the oven to help proof the cinnamon rolls so that they double in size in a short amount of time. So I've covered my pan with good old-fashioned plastic wrap, and I'm going to go ahead and put them in the oven, and once I put them in the oven, I'm going to turn the oven off, but leave the door shut so all that nice warm air helps the yeast rise. Now that the cinnamon rolls are proofing in the oven, I've set a timer for 20 minutes. So they have to rise for 20 minutes. Our timer has gone off, so our cinnamon rolls are ready to be pulled out of the oven for just a moment, and then we're going to put them right back in. So our cinnamon rolls have doubled in size. I'm going to go ahead and gently peel off our plastic wrap. They already smell amazing. Now we're going to put them back in the oven and then turn the oven on to 375 degrees, and they're going to bake for another 15 to 20 minutes or until they're nice and golden on top. While our cinnamon rolls are in the oven, we're going to go ahead and we're going to make our glaze now. To make our glaze, I'm going to combine our milk, our vanilla into our powdered sugar. And I'm going to go ahead and just stir that together until it's all dissolved. Okay, that consistency looks perfect. You want it to be slightly thick but runny at the same time. So it should really kind of just slip right off the spoon. So I'm going to add a little bit of lemon zest to my glaze. It really just helps kind of give it a nice, fresh, bright flavor. So I've zested about a half a teaspoon of lemon into the glaze. A little goes a long way. Perfect. Our timer's gone off and our cinnamon rolls are ready to come out of the oven. The whole kitchen smells amazing. Warm cinnamon and sugar. I can't wait. warm, we're gonna go ahead and top them with the glaze. So I'm just gonna spoon the glaze and kind of evenly paint it over the top of each of the cinnamon rolls. So hopefully that glaze gets down into all the nooks and crannies of the cinnamon roll. Now my favorite part, time to taste. They smell delicious. Smells warm like cinnamon and sweet like sugar. You get a hint of the lemon from the glaze. I bet they're gonna taste just as good. They're soft and fluffy, and they're nice and gooey. Absolutely perfect. Well, I hope you enjoyed this episode of Whisk. Thank you for watching, and please remember to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Whisk with Gina. Happy baking, everybody. Well, I hope you enjoyed this episode of Whisk.